This week, we're finishing The Bird and the Sword by Amy Harmon, otherwise known as He's an Angel.
Hi, readers. I'm Jordan.
And I'm Cate.
And welcome to Not Another Heroine, the book pod where we celebrate the heroines we love
and roast the ones we don't. We'll find you the best 5-star reads, the spiciest romance, and save you from the overhyped DNFs.
If it's romance, we'll read it.
Or watch it.
We like every flavor. So grab your favorite drink and get cozy. Welcome to Season 4. He's a bird. He's a plane. He's Tyrus.
Cursed. Literally. We will get to it at the end, but when you figure out what's wrong with him, I lost my shit and I was like, she was not held accountable for
It was so well done.
Crazy. Oh my God. And we talked about this a little bit before we started the recording, but I will say, readers, that something happens like halfway through this book where it definitely slows down. The vibe changes a little bit. I don't know what it was.
So when I read this book the first time, my rating was like a 4. And then I picked it up again, powered through the first half, and then let it die.
Yeah.
Did not touch it for a couple weeks.
Same. Yep. And apparently 2016 Cate thought the exact same because when I opened up the Kindle version, I had stopped at 51%.
There's just some sort of lag in the plot and it just doesn't keep you going. Which is crazy because you read books like Alchemized, which is 1,000 pages, and you're like, nope, this is all I'm doing.
That was like a 2-day readathon that I was doing absolutely nothing other than reading.
I know when I have to check how many pages I have left in a book that something's not as good as it should be.
Yeah. That all said, though, I loved this fucking marriage wedding scene.
Okay.
The tension, the horror. Oh my God.
The first time you read it, you're like, oh, this is going to be really, really bad.
Because it kind of reminded me, did you ever end up watching Game of Thrones?
Yep.
Okay. It reminded me of when Cersei has to walk through the streets and get
shame.
Yeah. That was in my head as I was thinking about this, and I was like, is she gonna get beat up on the streets?
Maybe. So where we kind of left off is we figured out that Tyrus and the bald eagle are the one and the same.
What?
But he cannot control when he shapeshifts into an eagle, and it's slowly driving him a little mad, and he feels like he's losing himself. So they think Lark may be able to help him, but no. And as they're kind of growing closer and figuring out their romantic attraction to each other, he's like, hey, how about we get married? You'd be a good queen. And I'm like, I don't think she would, but no, not at all.
It's literally as abrupt as that. I think they're having an intimate moment or something.
Yeah, she says I'm not your queen. And he's like, well, do you want to be?
Could be. Wild.
It felt too abrupt.
Yes. Yeah, I agree. Because even in the audiobook, I was like, oh, they are talking about marriage? Okay.
And you get Lark's inner conflict where she's like, I don't want to be queen, but I really do. Yeah. She wants more than she is. And that is her struggle for the entire book. She wants to speak but can't. She wants magic but doesn't want to use it. She wants Tyrus but doesn't like that she wants Tyrus. And then she wants power but she doesn't want the responsibility of power.
Whoa. That you broke my brain.
No.
Holy shit.
That's just what I do.
Dust off her shoulder, That's crazy. That's exactly what her character is. That's cool.
Which is why she's kind of annoying. This kind of seesaw back and forth with her wants and needs. And meanwhile, the whole woe is me kind of thing. I still can't speak. Bitch, you can make Volgar fall out of the sky. What more do you want?
Yeah. What is the line? I forgot the first word, but something without desire is duty.
Yes, that's a good line.
It's such a good line, but I don't remember what the first part is. Responsibility.
When there is no love, there's only duty.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Banger line. But she uses it the wrong way, I feel throughout the whole, becoming queen tidbit.
Because it's this weird kind of back and forth with her and Tyrus. I think they just had sex or something.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, and she's like, I'm not your queen. Well, you could be. Do you want to get married? No. I think you want to get married. Yeah, I want to get married. And then, they plan to get married.
Yep, and that's it.
Then the day of the wedding comes, and Tyrus disappears. Yep. And the way this wedding ceremony works is, especially between monarchs and their future brides or whatever, the bride has to walk through the streets of the city and meet her husband at the altar. And she has to wait there until he arrives. And it is like shame on her if he doesn't show up. And if she doesn't make the walk, then it's shame on him. And I'm like, okay, I can get behind that. That was pretty solid.
Yeah. And she's not allowed to like look behind her and look at him at any point because she has to have like trust that he's like picking her. Oh, dude, ate that shit up.
It was pretty solid. But there is something afoot. And so she like, I think Kel comes to her and he's like, Tyrus is gone.
Yeah.
But I think you still need to walk because we can't have him be shamed in front of his like constituents. I don't know. Because meanwhile, we have all these lords and the council trying to overthrow him because they don't like his ruling style. He's a little like gruff and forceful and like a little too lenient on people with magic.
Yeah, they're all up in arms about that. Because I think one of them even asked him, he's like, when is the last time did you do any executions? And he's like, that's a little bit weird. Like, you seem to, have a little bit of disgusting bloodlust. And he's like, oh, no.
That's exactly how they react, too.
Oh, my God. So I think Kel is like, you just kind of gotta
trust in the process, man. He'll be fine.
And so she's like walking down the streets and she's like, I'm not stressed out. This is fine. And then I think they have like the oldest person in the city come to like anoint her feet or something. And she like whispers,
wait for him.
It's like, how do you know, lady?
There's no other like follow on to that. Just random old woman's like, wait for him. And it's okay.
And she's like, well, I guess I'm going to wait. And then she's at the altar. And then like a suspiciously short amount of time when people are like, oh, where is he? He's not here. And then
her dad's there.
Yeah. And he's like, okay, get up. It obviously didn't work out. Let's leave. This is embarrassing. But it's like, I'm going to wait for him. And they're like, And then she calls a bajillion birds into
okay, so first, I think, doesn't, like, Lady Fury or some of the others are like, let her wait. There's no, like, time restriction on, like, when the groom is supposed to arrive.
Yeah.
And hours go by, and then she waits for dusk.
Oh,
because
that's what it is.
Dusk is the time when Tyrus can, like, easily change his shape. So she creates the silliest little bird rhyme.
Yep.
All the birds of blah-da-da, I don't know what country this is, come fly around, and if Tyrus is with you, let him be here.
Yeah, basically. Exactly what Jordan said. She was probably off by like 1 to 2 words max. So then we get bird hurricane.
I was just thinking of the amount of bird shit that would be falling on everyone. But
I think that's even alluded to because some of the people are like, oh no, and then like run out.
It's a swarm of birds that go into this church thing and just kind of circle around the thing. And, Lark is like, well, if Tyrus is among you, please leave. Then the birds leave and everyone's like, what the fuck is going on? And still no one thinks like magic. No, everyone's like, oh, it's just birds doing bird shit.
That was a little bit unbelievable. Like there have been multiple miracles happening and you are facing this inquisition against magic users and no one thought to be like,
nope, not at all.
Magic.
But then all of a sudden in walks Tyrus and he is dressed suspiciously like Kel, who is now gone.
Oh no.
And so Tyrus like stalks down the aisle and they have their little marriage ceremony. It's very cute. And then they're married.
Yep, that's it.
Yeah. And then they walk out and like Lark is like, where is Kel? He's naked behind the stable. I sent a boy to go get him some clothes. You're like, oh, that's kind of the humor you want in that situation. Yep, I wish there was more scenes like that.
I feel like it'd make them both more relatable characters, maybe. Yeah. They were just taking, like one last romp in the stables before, old ball and chain.
Yeah. And then they have their wedding night. And this is where the spice scene kind of ramps up a little bit, but not in a really strange way.
Yeah. Me and Jordan were talking about this before we started the recording, just trying to find like what we didn't like about it. And I still don't really know. But I didn't like it.
It was, okay, I think I know what's going on here because when you are either a clean romance writer or I feel like you just include the scene. And then some, like I would say Lisa Kleypas is a good example of someone who gives a lot of detail but doesn't cross the line into like
vulgar.
Yeah. And I think a lot of authors may struggle trying to find where those boundaries are. Kiss of the Basilisk, perhaps.
Oh my
Way
God.
past the vulgar line.
Yeah.
But here we have, I think, someone who is trying to steer a little cleaner, but wanting to give enough detail to draw, like, more adult audiences in. So you get a little bit more detail, but it's still, like, I don't wanna say not enough, because at some points it was like, "Nope, I didn't want that."
I think it might have been weirdly like the word choice maybe, because I remember listening to it and I feel like the words that Amy Harmon picked were like these very like physical, visceral, like fleshy words
No.
almost. You know what I mean?
No.
But like not in like a sensual way, almost in a very like kind of like medieval,
Mhm.
like very abrupt, descriptive, but not in the way that we're used to. Like, it wasn't sensual, maybe? It was
Yeah.
very, like,
There
physical.
was no emotions. And I
Yeah.
think I wonder if that was because we're written in first person, we're sitting in Lark's head, and we've read
Mm.
plenty of first person books that have very intense scenes like this. It
Mhm.
just didn't click here. It was either physical or not, and I think it's because Lark's in her own head too much throughout the process. She's like, even as she's with Tyr, she's like, "I don't know if I want this."
Yeah.
Not in a, like, a non-consensual way, but in a, like, emotional confliction kind of way.
Yeah, I actually that reminded me I even made a note of this of, like, I need to talk to Jordan about this, and I totally forgot until this moment. It reminds me of when you talk about the OG romance, where it's like the woman's not really supposed to want it necessarily and kinda has to put up a fight or else she's like a wanton woman,
Mhm.
like the OG, like the chic
Mhm.
era. That's what it reminded me of, where it's like she's not into it, but, like, kinda is, but, like, the wording is very, like, not non-consensual, but, like, "What's going on
Yeah,
here?"
it was this weird kind of in between, and I felt like
Yeah.
it took away from the story.
Mhm.
Books like Half a Soul and books like Thorn do fine without spice,
Mhm.
but they're also geared younger,
Yeah. Yeah.
and I think maybe that's what she was trying to avoid.
And it was hard too because there was a lot of scenes like this, like, back to back.
Yeah, once you get past the wedding scene, it's like, "Yep, there we go again," and
Yep.
like, "No,
Don't want
stop."
this. Yeah, but it definitely reminded me of, like, the old school romance where
Mhm.
it's like, "Oh, I don't know that I, like, want this," and it's like, "Okay, we're getting, like, a weird non-consensually
And then they get
kinda."
the pregnancy thing.
Ew, dude, I when the healer was like, "Wow, you have 2 heartbeats," I was like, "Oh, so she's like a freaky alien." Yeah, my first thought was alien, not pregnant, so that kinda also keys you into my reading, history.
Also, I did not like the Tyrus line of, "I will put a baby in you."
Oh, I think that's what I mean, the word choice, like, that is like, I think, like, "Why won't you accept my seed?" is, like,
Ugh.
something I'm like, ugh. That's all of these scenes are,
Yeah.
like, verbiage like that I'm like, "This is disgusting."
And then there's some more scenes back and forth where we have Tyrus kind of struggling with his shape shifting at like unpredictable times, and he's slowly becoming more and more bird-like. He has talons at the end of his fingers.
Mhm. I will say there was one scene that I liked that he had been gone for, like, a week or something,
Mhm.
and then all of a sudden, she, like, stumbles into a meeting, and he's there, and she's like, "You're back?" And he's, like, ignoring her,
Mhm.
and she's like, "What the fuck is going on?" And then he, like, makes, like, a passing comment how, like, he's been home for, like, 3 days, and she didn't know. Love that. I love me some angst, but then it wasn't even, like, like, delved out at
It
all.
honestly, they felt like a married couple who were, like, dissatisfied with their marriage for, like,
Yeah.
10 years, and they have all this build-up resentment towards each other.
Yeah, and it's like, you guys are newlyweds.
They did not behave like it. It was very strange.
No, yeah, and then we kind of get back into the plot, kind of, because Lady Fury shows up outside the city gates, and everybody's like, "Did you let her in?" And it's like, "No, she's still out by the city gates," and she's haggard, beat up, whatever, and she's like, "Oh, no, my town has been run over by Vulgar," and everybody's like, "Oh my god, Lady Fury, you're so brave!"
Perfect
Hmm.
example of the town's reaction.
Interesting. And then there kind of domino effects into the ending events of the book.
It is extremely chaotic. There is a lot going on, but basically, Tyrus and Kel and their army go off to fight the Volgar.
Mhm. But before they leave, Tyrus is worried about the succession, the transition to the bird. And he's like, Kel, you're my bastard brother. I'm going to officially put you into the line of succession. And then when we go off to war, I am not going to make it.
Yeah, like he plans his own death.
Yeah. And it's interesting because I feel like Lark fought back about it, but maybe not as much as I was expecting or as effectually as I was expecting. But it seemed very easily decided that he was just going to die and then she was going to marry Kel.
Yeah. Where is my angst here? There should be more heartbreak over this. And Lark just didn't get there.
No. And so that was his whole plan is like, I'm going to go die, quotation marks, and then Kel is going to come back. You're going to marry him, and then everything will be fine. And she's like, okay. It's like, girl, that's your husband.
Then he goes away, and then he dies.
Yep, yeah.
And
suspiciously fast, too.
Yes. So there's like a messenger pigeon that comes back and says, the king is dead. And Lark's like, oh, I guess I'm queen now. Cool. And then the Volgar attack again. She's captured. This is where we go off the rails. She is captured by a Volgar until she looks up and she realizes that's not a Volgar. And it's like this weird dragon bird thing.
Yeah.
And then the dragon, she gets sold out by Lady Fury. She's the bad guy, by the way.
Yep, yeah. Because I think she sees an eel and she's like, I knew he wasn't dead. And it's like, girl, dumb ass. And she follows the bird into the wild. And then it's Lady Fury. And she's like, yeah, I'm a fucking shifter, dumb bitch. You took my spot. I wanted to be queen.
Yeah, that was a whole subplot that I think was completely unnecessary. Like, I was not expecting a Lady Fury to be evil villain. We didn't need that.
No, very Swan-like unnecessarily.
Yep. So Lady Fury lures her out and then sells her off to the Liege, the supreme Volgar, who turns out to be no one other than Tyrus's father, the dead king.
I didn't really understand this part.
So earlier in the novel, Tyrus takes Lark on a walk and they stop by the cliffs, which this was creepy by itself. And Tyrus is like, yeah, this is where my father jumped off the cliffs and killed himself.
Okay, yeah, I remember that scene and I'm like, okay, weird, trauma dump.
Yeah, and then they never recovered his body. And then fast forward 15 years, and then actually they didn't recover the king's body because he could shapeshift into whatever form of any kind of animal, like combined animals that he wants. And he was the one who created these Volgar. He's their leader. And he secretly wants to rule the world because I'm a bad guy.
Yeah, literally.
So he captures her with this drug deal with Lady Fury, and Lark is like, I'm just a little woman here.
Yeah.
And she tries to use her magic poetry to defeat the Volgar, and it kind of works and kind of doesn't. And he's like, really? Are you doing poetry right now?
Yeah. Yep. Yes.
And then, oh, wait, it's a bird. It's a plane. No, it's Tyrus again. Except he's a man with wings. He's an angel.
Literally.
He's just so bad.
This is exactly what happens. This is word for word.
He defeats his daddy. He liberates the city from the Volgar.
Yep.
And then he's like, everyone with magic is blessed.
Yep.
And no one's going to get killed.
Yep. This is a very factual retelling of events.
And then this is where we get the big reveal of why Tyrus has stuck shifting into different forms.
This part, I liked it because there was enough little tidbits throughout the book that I was like, ooh, Amy Harmon, well done. But Lark did not face enough consequences. No. What the fuck?
So I think it's Bujani is like, hey, Lark, maybe it's not a curse that he's suffering from because everyone can change. All the gifted can change into their animals. That's not a curse. Maybe you did this.
He brought it up twice and she's like, I don't think so. And then she's like, no, girl, you need to think about this.
Then you get a flashback to the prologue because you get to read the scene again, which I think was brilliant structuring on Amy Harmon's part.
Yes.
And you get Lark remembering the fact that she remembers looking as a 6-year-old up at this prince and thinking, oh, he just wants to fly and be an eagle. So she
be free.
Be free, like a bird. And she gives him a word of power when she's a child, and it is eagle, but it's eagle in a different language, like
Mikai or something.
Yeah. And then here's the other cool part of the magic is if she says the word of power backwards, it undoes the magic. So she says
whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, badoo.
Yeah, badoo. Yeah, that's what she says.
Direct quote.
And then that loosens the restrictions on his power because previously the curse that she kind of bestowed upon him was that he could only change into an eagle and he couldn't control it. He was just meant to be an eagle.
Mm-hmm.
With that removed, now he can be whatever he wants to be at whatever time he wants to do it.
Mm-hmm.
He'd be free.
That's fucking bonkers. I was listening to this and this was when I snapped back in. My jaw dropped. I was like, she fucking cursed him for the majority of his life. And then, like, they have a coming to terms and she's, like, crying and she's like, I cursed you. And he's like, no, it's okay. I love you. And it's like, nah, dog. Like, you almost lost your kingdom, planned your whole death, like, almost died multiple times. Like, how many inconceivable inconveniences to, like, the functioning of your life, uncontrollable pain. And you're like, no, it's cool.
It's because you got my baby. That's all.
Fucking bonkers. Crazy. Oh my God.
Yeah.
And then it was like one line and he's like, nope, it's fine. And she's like, thank God. Crazy.
I was
like, no, you're on the fucking burn book list. Absolutely not. Yeah. But then everything is good.
that is the end of the book.
Yep.
Like, there's not much to it.
I love the plot twist, but like, you need to face consequences. I'm sorry.
I do need to quote not a line from the story, but a line from the acknowledgement section.
Oh.
After she lists all these people who helped her, she says, I'm just really grateful for Diet Pepsi and Jesus. And who has not felt that way? Like,
yeah. Literally, like, Jesus, take the wheel.
Pretty much. Like, insert whatever deity you, like, believe in.
Yeah.
But that speaks volumes to, like, the plot that she created here.
Yep. Yeah.
But yeah, that's The Bird and the Sword by Amy Harmon.
Yep. It was fun until 50%, and then it was kind of meh, and then... But I feel like all of that has to be tempered. That's the thing I feel like we sometimes forget, is that on the scale of the worst book we've ever read and the best book we've ever read, like, we say it's, like, not necessarily enjoyable or good, but that's, like, also in comparison to The Kiss of the Basilisk, to A Soul to Keep, to... Those were, like... illegible.
It goes back to, like, what is the author trying to accomplish here?
Yeah.
Did they accomplish it? Did they have good writing and good characters? Did they write for the correct audience?
Yes.
Yeah.
There just wasn't enough angst.
Yeah.
Not enough emotional longing.
But we do have some good things ahead.
Oh my God, I'm so fucking excited, dude. I will say first, if you want more mute main characters, one of my picks of the weeks recently, A Vow of Blood and Tears by Cate Corvin. Totally similar character, way more angst and love. Love that book.
And if you want something a little bit more advanced that has a very similar story, Daughter of the Forest also has a mute character.
Juliet Marillier.
Way more angst, too.
Oh, my God.
Oh, and some trauma in there.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
Listen to our episodes on that book if you want a little preview.
Yeah. I will talk about this said thing that we are going to cover for some future episodes until my face is blue and the people around me are like, okay, let's, like, talk about something else. And I'm like, no! Frankenstein. Guillermo del Toro, I don't know what kind of fucking cocaine you put in this movie, but free me, please, from my mortal bonds. I am addicted.
That good.
It's so fucking good. Oh my God, dude.
Okay, well, readers, that is what is next week.
Oh my God.
Frankenstein.
The costumes, the yearning, the moments, the, like, symbolism.
This was supposed to be Halloween season 3. We just got distracted.
Sidetracked. But now I'm, like, upset at myself because I have seen this movie like twice now at least, and I've read all kinds of fucking Reddit theses about it.
Oh my God, Katie. It's on Netflix too, so if you have that, you should be golden.
So good.
I'm more excited for the next thing after
I was
Frankenstein.
About to say the Jordan equivalent.
Oh my God. An Offer from a Gentleman by Julia Quinn. Season 4 Bridgerton is based on that book, and that comes out on January 29th.
God, dude.
It's a Cinderella story. It's my favorite.
We watched the trailer, and both of us got goosebumps, like, live.
I like your comments on it because you said, I didn't finish watching season 3. Kind of hated it.
I didn't either. I got like halfway through. Yeah.
But they toned down everything. It looks more like a traditional period drama.
Yeah.
Also, this is just the best book in the series, I think.
That's crazy. I haven't read it yet, so I'm intrigued.
I mean,
You.
Yeah, it's gonna be good. So we're gonna cover the book first, and then we will cover part 1 because I think they've broken it out, the episode chunks.
Yeah, I'm fucking so excited. When they had that moment when they're all in the, like, downstairs servants area, and then they're like,
Your face
oh
went
my
down.
God. I didn't know it was like a Cinderella retelling, and then they're like, "You're gonna go," and I'm like, "No way!" Oh my God.
If you've ever seen a Cinderella story, but with Hilary Duff, it's that, 100%.
Love. They know exactly the audience
Yep.
they're speaking
Even the
to.
mask is the same. Come
I
on.
know. Love it. Oh, what a vibe.
All right. Until next week, until Frankenstein takes over.
From our shelf to yours.
We'll see you on the next page.
Hi, readers. Like what you've been hearing? Like and subscribe to us on YouTube or Patreon at Not Another Heroine to support our growing library and get access to exclusive bonus content.
Ready for the next page? We post new episodes every Monday and Wednesday wherever you get your podcasts. Thanks for listening.